Hey everybody, it's Josh Rimany here with your Functional RX podcast, and today we're going to talk about what does a personalized cardiometabolic plan actually look like. In our previous podcast we talked about cardiometabolic and what does that mean, and now we're going to talk about actually what does the patient or the person go through when we actually set up this plan. So I've got my wife and business partner here in Dilworth Functional Wellness, Jamie. Hi, Jamie.
Hi.
This is her first podcast, so she's a little nervous. I keep telling her to be herself, and she'll be just fine. The reason I got Jamie on here is, we do a lot with functional medicine in the practice here, and we're rolling out this cardiometabolic program that we're calling Empower, because we really feel that it's really designed around patients to empower their health. And a big part of what we're going to be doing when we describe this personalized action plan that we co-create together with the patient is really how do they implement in their lives. And Jamie is an integrative and functional medicine health coach, which we're super excited because she's changed career paths like me. I became a pharmacist and then I became the anti-pharmacist. And Jamie, who was the mother hen here at Dilworth Drug and Wellness, on a separate path, but also in a continuous path, she decided that she wanted to be a health coach and go full in on that space. And so we're going to talk a little bit today as we go through this, what does a cardiometabolic plan, but really personalized to the patient look like? Because that's what I feel the difference is between what we do here are in functional land is we personalize it down to the patient, even to the genetics sometimes. So, where most people go to a weight loss program or they're going to go to, anything like Jenny Craig or go somewhere where they're just going to lose weight, it's not personalized to them. And what we talk about when we say personalized is a few different things. One thing is, like I said, down to the molecular level, which is the fun, geeky science stuff I get to do. But we talk about things like how does their genetics affect their health, or possibly other types of things on like what types of nutrients do they need specifically to their thing. Because when we talk cardiometabolic, it's not just I'm overweight or I have cardiovascular disease or risk and I need to fix that. It's where are they on the spectrum of their health is, we're looking at whether they have hyperlipidemia or cholesterol issues, plus do they have, are they overweight and they need to lose weight, and then they have maybe high blood pressure, maybe they're not sleeping right, maybe their stress is wrong. So we really talk to the patient about when we do a personalized plan, we co-create it together because it's really patient-centered. So, in the cardiometabolic plan, how do we personalize that? Well, that's really what makes the difference here is they get we always recommend what we call cardiometabolic plan, but really it's just a modified Mediterranean diet, good fat, low in saturated fat, high in phytonutrient dense food like fruits and vegetables, half the plate. Really good for the cardiovascular system, inflammation and insulin resistance, which is blood sugar regulation, right? So first thing is they get a personalized food plan, which we put them on the BIA, right, Jay?
Yeah.
And we actually get their body composition. So, part of the misnomers is BMI is just height, weight, that type of thing is, we want to look at what is it? We want to look at the content of the fat, where it is, right? So visceral fat, belly fat, is really metabolically active in a bad way. And we want to really fix that. So we want to look at that. So we have a fancy, expensive scale here at the Pharmacy and Wellness Center, and it's called a BIA, bioimpedance analysis. But in a cardiometabolic space, we need to know what their metabolic rate is, so how many calories they need in order to lose the weight they need. And this fancy scale actually measures lean body mass, water weight, and water intracellular, extracellular, which is important for hydration purposes, or whether they're hydrated or just holding water. And then the really important piece is where is the fat and how much do they have. So when we work on somebody, we're going to metricize or calculate the food plan they need in order to do what they need for their goals. So first part is we look at their body comp. We give them a personalized food plan for that. But really what makes it personalized to the patient, not only the supplement side, because that's what we do. We're going to look at genuinely what do they need specifically for them and their outcomes. And a lot of the supplements we use in the nutraceuticals are really designed around reducing inflammation and insulin resistance from a cardiometabolic space. But really, there's these other factors, right? These other factors in health. And Jamie might be able to talk a little bit about that, because when we give them this big book of plan, that's one thing. But what's the hardest piece of implementing a plan is adopting it in your life, right?
Yeah. So a lot of it, when you sit down, with me or choose to start working with the health coach, is really understanding the process. So you just had a great visit with Josh. You came over with an amazing plan. You're super excited. And then bam, you realize, what am I going to do? How is it that I am going to make all of these changes right away and get my life going exactly where it needs to be? And I kind of get to lovingly come in at that point and remind you, hey, you don't have to make all of these changes right now, right away. You start small. Working with a health coach really brings you into the world of accountability and kind of having a partnership in this new change, this new endeavor that you're going to get started on for you, for your body, for your family. And it's kind of looking at all the different areas in you and around you that start to play, your sleep, relaxation, your exercise and movement levels, your nutrition. You're going to touch on that. Also, most importantly, stress. That's a huge factor. And it's amazing how it can play and overextend in so many areas of your life, and also kind of where you sit in relationships. So in health coaching, that's kind of where my coaches and families, tend to live and sit. But it's amazing how when one of those little pieces is a little askewed or a little off-centered, it really starts to change things around. So, you're stressed right away thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way I'm going to be able to, start incorporating olive oil instead of butter in some of my cookings and make this big diet change. Well, let's stop. Let's sit down and, you have your recommendations, and we come up with finding a way to make it manageable. Because once you make one little step in the right direction, it is amazing the hills that you will be able to encounter.
Right, so it's basically how do you eat the elephant, right? You eat it in a little chunk. Because that's really what it is. So, everyone tries to say, well, we all know we need to eat right and exercise and take the good food and supplements. But the real big hard piece is, from our end, we can put the plan in front of you, right? We co-create. I like to say that word co-create because we put the plan in front of you, but what's so necessary for the plan to stick. The plan needs to stick. Our goal is to give this plan so people can adopt this into their lives. And what a health coach is, and why it's so critical to our whole practice here, I always tell Jamie she's the most important cog in the wheel, because that's the part that people have the issue with, is you give them this plan and we have to go from contemplation to action, right? Mm-hmm. And that action piece is actually doing it, right? So I tell people, so the coach says, well, we want you to exercise, I could say 5 days a week for 30 minutes. And then the person's going to sit down and go, well, I'm busy. I got this, I got that. Everything's going on. Well, the first chunk of that is to put on the shoes, right? Let's put on the shoes first.
Pack the bag.
These little things, that accountability buddy that we are for our patients is so super critical to the action of the plan. And that's really what we're talking about when we're personalizing this, is you get the plan, it's personalized to you. That's what makes us different, is we actually get to do it specifically to you. We give the person the time and the energy they need for their plan. But once they get the plan, it needs to be put in place. And that's always the rate limiting step here, isn't it? So what we do, and what I'm so grateful for you, Jamie, is I get to do all the fun stuff that I do. I hand off the plan, and then I go, all right, let's go to the nutritionist to talk about the food, and let's talk about these lifestyle modifiers, like you said, stress, sleep, mood, nutrition, relationships, exercise, movement, excuse me, but sitting is the new smoking. It's actually worse than smoking. So we have to address these things. And how do we do that? Is one chunk at a time. And so the health coach is really here to coach you up and through these barriers or self-limiting beliefs that won't get you the action that you need. So super cool. That's really in a nutshell what I think health coaching is. But tell me a little bit why you want to be a health coach. I'm curious. Tell everybody, because they've seen you at the store. Maybe a lot of people that listen to this podcast are really our customers, people that we've loved and helped over the years in Dilworth and beyond, and they've followed us and they've kind of seen you, and now you're kind of emerging into this new role. And I want you to tell them a little bit about why you're doing this for everybody. Why is it important to you?
No, and that's exactly it. It definitely has been a transition period, and a lot of that put the seed into my little growth pot is I enjoy talking to so many people and interacting with our patients, and I loved being able to help them on so many different ways. And I suddenly started looking at and hearing about health coaching, and all these ideas and patterns and wants and wishes really started to align and direct me in that way. So I thought it was pretty amazing that there is something that I could do, and it would allow me to interact with our patients on a much more personalized and individual level, just including and pushing me to have that interaction and connection that is the stem of kind of health coaching. And it's really been an amazing process, and I absolutely love celebrating the small wins. I love celebrating the big wins, and I also love being a different set of eyes when someone might come in and say, hey, I didn't reach my goal, and I stop them and I say, okay, were you able to do anything? I'm sure you didn't just sit in a black hole last week. They're like, no, I was able to cook myself dinner 2 days a week, and their goal might have been 5 days a week. But you know what? You did it 2 days a week, and that is a start. And you kind of just take a step back and you're grateful, going, wow, it's really nice to have somebody who's able to be there and be in my corner and lift me up. And I didn't really fail. We don't like to use the word failure in health coaching. You weren't able to complete everything, and you still made the step in the right direction. And that's just one of the best parts of being involved and being able to be there for someone. And it's been really rewarding, and I am really looking forward to sharing this and being able to expand our business and watch myself grow, along with working with others to watch them grow.
Awesome. So there was zero passion in that, right? I'm
None.
just being kidding. I tell everyone I could talk forever because I'm passionate about it, and I knew that was going to work, because I was like, Jamie, why are we good on time? Okay, cool. Yeah. We got a little time. So guess what? Real quick, we're going to go shoot. Like, what is this personalized cardiometabolic about? Well, we get a personalized food plan, which is going to lower inflammation, help with blood sugar regulation, because both of those things are super critical on how we do it. Food is medicine, food is information. So we get it metricized, or right down to their metabolic rate, so we can get them to lose the fat that they need. Because metabolic syndrome is pre-diabetes is gonna bankrupt our healthcare system, and it's gonna cause a lot of problems. So this is the food plan that we use for that. The lifestyle plan that Jamie talked about, we need to address sleep and relaxation. Really what that means, it's restoration. So we're going to address these other factors other than food and other than this science-based food type stuff, because we have to look at the type of exercise you need. The lifestyle plan that includes sleep. I'm looking at one that I've just done right now. Restoration. There's so many different mind-body kind of things that are needed, but science says that when we do these practices and we do guided meditation or imagery, even prayer, biofeedback, we use heart math here, management, how do we get the health coach, Jamie, how do you get moving in the workplace? How do you do these things so we can manage, reduce our stress? Huge component to that. And then we use the micronutrients, the macronutrients, and the phytonutrients, whether it's supplements or food, to really support this well-being and this whole component. So you've got nutrition, supplements, exercise, sleep plan. We definitely look at stress. Everybody's stressed out. Can't wait till next quarter when we focus just on stress. Everybody's going to love that. And then the relationship side of it. There's actually science-based, evidence-based science about how the quality of relationships really affects somebody's health. So if we address all of those in an underlying program, we're doing our job to the best of our abilities. And we're not just going into another weight loss program. So that's really what the difference is between what a personalized cardiometabolic plan is versus weight loss. So I hope you guys got the difference between the two. And, obviously you can go to the website or come in on the store and talk to any of us, because we're happy to do this. We're rolling this program out. It's going to be awesome. If you guys like these kind of podcasts and you're interested in these kind of content that we're doing, I'm super proud. We got about 1,000 hits on our podcast last year, and we're going to work to 10,000 this year. So, tell your friends, share it. We're really excited. We really want to get this movement out this year, is to promote a community of wellness and well-being, and this is what we're doing for the community. So I'm super happy to be here. I really want to thank Jamie, my wife and business partner and health coach at Dilworth, for being here today. You did an awesome job.
Thanks.
And so we'll see you on the next podcast, guys. I'm Josh Rimany, and this is your Functional RX podcast.